Have you ever wondered why World War II happened? A question so simple, yet the answer is a complex web of events, decisions and circumstances. It's not just about one country against another, but a global conflict that shaped our history. It's more than just a chapter in a history book. It's a story of human struggle, power, and the fight for freedom. To answer this, we need to take a step back in time, to the events leading up to the war. The seeds of the Second World War were sown long before the first shot was fired. Our story begins in the aftermath of the First World War, with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles in 1919. This treaty, intended to ensure peace, ironically laid the groundwork for the next great conflict. It imposed harsh terms on Germany, blaming it for the war and demanding substantial reparations. This led to a period of economic hardship and national humiliation for the German people. As the years went on, this resentment brewed, creating a fertile ground for the rise of radical ideologies. One such ideology was that of Adolf Hitler and his National Socialist Party, more commonly known as the Nazi Party. Hitler's charismatic speeches and promises of a return to national pride resonated with many Germans, leading to his appointment as Chancellor in 1933. Once in power, Hitler began to defy the Treaty of Versailles, rearming Germany and reclaiming lost territories. However, the event that truly signaled the start of World War II was the invasion of Poland in September of 1939. Despite warnings from Britain and France, Hitler was undeterred, believing they would not actually resort to war. However, he was mistaken. Britain and France declared war on Germany on September 3, 1939, 2 days after the invasion of Poland. This marked the beginning of the Second World War, a conflict that was to be far more devastating than anyone could have imagined. It was a war that would span 6 continents, involve over 30 countries, and result in the death of millions of people. It was a war that would see the first use of nuclear weapons and the horrific atrocities of the Holocaust. Yet all of this was set in motion by the events leading up to the war. These events set the stage for a conflict that would change the world. And as we'll see in the next scene, the reasons for the Second World War were complex and multifaceted. But for now, let's pause here, in the quiet before the storm, and reflect on the path that led us to the brink of global conflict. So why did World War II happen? The answer lies in a complex interplay of factors. One of the most significant was the aggressive policies of Nazi Germany. Under the leadership of Adolf Hitler, Germany began to expand its territories, violating the terms of the Treaty of Versailles, a peace agreement that had ended World War I. Hitler's imperialistic ambitions and his ideology of racial superiority led Germany to invade Poland in September of 1939, marking the beginning of World War II. Simultaneously, the failure of peace efforts after World War I played a critical role. The League of Nations, created to maintain world peace, was unable to prevent the escalation of these conflicts. Its inability to enforce sanctions and make decisive actions against aggressor countries highlighted its weaknesses, paving the way for another global conflict. Lastly, the economic instability that plagued the world during the 1930s cannot be overlooked. The Great Depression, which had its origins in the United States, spread globally, causing widespread unemployment and poverty. This economic hardship created a fertile ground for the rise of extremist ideologies and governments, including Hitler's Nazi regime in Germany. These 3 factors, the aggressive policies of Nazi Germany, the failure of post-World War I peace efforts, and the global economic instability, intertwined and escalated, creating a powder keg of tension and hostility. All these factors converged to ignite the spark of World War II. But what was the impact of this devastating conflict? World War II exacted an unimaginable human cost. Over 70 million lives were lost, forever altering families and communities. Cities were reduced to rubble, economies collapsed, and societies were left in chaos. Yet, out of this devastation, the world began to reshape itself. Geopolitical changes were substantial and far-reaching. Empires crumbled, new nations emerged, and the world's political map was redrawn. The superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, rose from the ashes, marking the beginning of a new era. The war also gave birth to the United Nations, a global organization established with the hope of preventing such catastrophic conflicts in the future. And indeed, the world we live in today has been shaped by these transformative events. World War II, a war that changed the world, was a result of a series of events and decisions. It's a reminder that our actions have consequences, often far-reaching, and that understanding history is key to shaping a peaceful future.